Sometimes during meetings, you want to ask a question of all of your attendees, but it's often impractical to expect everyone in the meeting to verbally answer the question, especially if it's a large group, and it can also be time-consuming. So Zoom's polling tool can make it much easier to get an answer or opinion from everyone in the group, and it also allows everyone to see the results. On top of that, it can help get responses from those who might not be completely comfortable speaking up in front of the entire meeting. In order to use a poll in your meeting, you have to first make sure this feature is enabled through the web dashboard. So sign into your account, go to Settings, and here under In-Meeting Basic, scroll down and find Polling, which you can see I already have enabled here. Now note that you have to be using a licensed Zoom account for this option to appear, as opposed to a free basic account. Also, if this option is grayed out, that means it's been disabled at the group or account level, and you'll need to ask your Zoom administrator to unlock it for you. But I have it enabled here, and I have a meeting already in progress, which we'll go back into. So we'll expand that. I'll unmute my mic so everybody can hear me. Hello again, guys. All right, so let's say I'm in a meeting, and I have a question I want to ask the entire group. Notice we now have this polling button here at the bottom of the window. So I can click that, and I can click Add a Question. That takes me to my web browser where I can create questions and answers for my poll. First, you'll want to enter a title for the poll. This is just a general name for the question or questions you want to ask. For example, maybe I want to survey the attendees about an upcoming offsite retreat. So I'll call it Offsite Retreat. If you want, you can check the anonymous box here to keep the individual responses anonymous. I'll leave that unchecked in this case. Next, you want to type in your first question. So I'm asking, do you prefer an in-person or virtual meeting? Now, because this is an either-or question, I'll leave the single choice selected, and then I can enter the two options for the answers. I can scroll down, and if I have another question to ask, I can click Add a Question. And I'll ask, which cities do you prefer for an on-site meeting? And since I want to get a sense of which cities are the most popular among the attendees, I'm going to allow for multiple choices in this case. And as you can see, you could continue to add more questions, but I'll click Save in this case. So here I can see what the poll looks like. Now, if you've selected multiple polls, you'll be able to select the one you want to use at the moment, but I currently only have the one. So I'm going to return to my meeting. And now I can click Launch Poll. And now everyone can see the poll, and I can see the results will come in live. So if you guys could go ahead and put in your responses. And once everyone has responded, looks like everyone has responded, I can click End Poll. So this obviously works a lot better with more people, but you can see the results right away here. And if you need to, you can relaunch the poll, which erases everyone's responses so you can start over. Or I could click Share Results, and that places the results on everyone's screen so we can all talk about the results. Once we're done with that, I can click Stop Sharing to hide that from them. And I can close my poll window. Now you can also download a report of the meeting to save the poll results. I'm going to sign out of the meeting for now so I can show you that. I'll see you guys later. And I'll leave my meeting. So back here in the web dashboard, I'm going to go to Reports. I'll select Meeting. And here I'm going to select Poll Report as the report type. I'll search for the meetings that have poll information. We can see them here. So this is the meeting that we just left. And here I can click Generate. And you can see it's processing. And when it's done, I'll be able to click the download button that appears. And this will generate a CSV file that I'll be able to open in Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets, or any other spreadsheet program. Now, lastly, it's probably occurred to you that it's time-consuming to come up with a poll on the spot like we just did. If you know you're going to be asking specific questions of your attendees in a meeting, you can create your poll ahead of time. In the web dashboard, you can go to Meetings. If the meeting isn't already scheduled, you'll want to create the meeting first. So for example, I'll schedule a new meeting. And I'll just save this quickly as my meeting. And if I scroll down to the bottom, notice it says you have not created any poll yet, but here I can click Add. And here I can create my poll questions for just this meeting and then save the poll. And then during the meeting, when I click the polling button, I'll be able to select and display this poll for my attendees without having to take the time during the meeting to create the questions and answers. All right, so that's the polling feature of Zoom.